to them. The All-Seeing Guys. The All-Seeing Guys. With Greg and Joe.
Welcome to episode 173 of the All-Seeing Guys podcast with Greg and Joe. Of course, I'm Greg. And I'm joined over the Skype waves by... Who are ya?
Obviously Joe Jackson.
He's obviously Joseph Jackson.
Back in effect. Not that I've
I
been
thought
away.
you were literally going to be like, back in a minute.
Yeah, back in a minute. Just immediately
Why did
leave.
Joe, we've been chatting for 10 minutes before we start recording. Why have you picked now to go do what you need to do?
I'll just shout monologue at you and expect you to talk. And I'll be back in a minute, Jackson.
I'll be back in a monologue. I recommend you read this monologue. I'll be back by the time you finish. That would actually be more realistic saying rather than I'll be back in a second or back in a tick. You say back in a monologue. That actually gives you a bit more space. It's a bit more of a better measurement of time.
But then the people will just be like spending that time thinking about how long a monologue is, and then like making references to films and stuff.
Exactly, job done. It's almost like a game.
Job done.
It's an unintentional. You're lured into a game you don't really want to play either. So
And
it has,
then-
it's Well, like if you say back in a second, they're not sat there thinking, oh yeah, what good seconds of films have there been or plays? But if you say back in a monologue, they're like, oh, here we go.
And whilst they're thinking, you steal the Declaration of Independence.
Quick, the security guards are all distracted thinking about monologues. Let's carry on with the diamond heist, boys.
I can't believe that worked.
I can't believe I told you it worked.
We didn't even test run that. It was like that was a real on the spot.
They can't even hear it. They were like putting our hands over their, or waving our hands over their faces and not even blinking.
Yeah.
Like they're in the monologue verse now.
Here's your orange sherbet.
We're off to a good start.
There's a crossover you never knew you needed.
It was a good start. Right, Joe, first of all, business first order. How is your neck?
Yes, I've made a recovery. I'm very much more mobile now. I can look to the left and right.
Wow, Batman in The Dark Knight.
Exactly.
You want to be able to turn your head? Actually, yes, I do.
Is that an option? Because I'll take it. Yeah, no, I'm feeling all right. Back's a little bit twingy, but yeah, it's all right.
Right, okay, so back's a bit twingy.
Sort of
so yeah, back's a bit twingy.
I think it's
so
just...
we'll say Joe it's Dark Knight Rises level at the moment.
I think
bad back.
Yeah, I'm basically just waiting for an old man to punch me in the spine. Is where we're currently at.
He's got to be old.
Yeah, he's got to be old. I don't want...
those bony knuckles really got to get in there. Those arthritis swollen bony knuckles really need to get between the discs on your back.
I don't want some fucking work experience like kid just doing it wrong.
Puts on like those Hulk smash hands.
Yeah, it's just like I can assure you they're a standard tool in every hospital. I can assure you. But in general,
glad your neck is okay.
My theory is that it's the same pain. It's just moving to different areas.
Isn't that just what life is, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what life is?
Isn't it just?
I'm not Danger podcasting this week. A new plug came.
You make it sound like you're sat on a cliff edge.
Yep, but podcast works. Plug works. I've got these new headphones that are
very nice.
Pretty. They're really cheap though.
Yeah.
I've got a constant fuzz.
Kind of reminds me of the headphones that Smashy and Nicey would wear in
they're like
Harry
a wood
Enfield.
finish. They're not like a wood look finish. Like it's ridiculous. I didn't even know that till they arrived.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit more about your headphones there, Greg?
Yeah, well, they were cheap. They fit. But I've got a really weird, I don't know if you'll hear this, listeners, hoping you won't, but I've had a really loud buzz in the background as soon as I set everything up. but I turned everything off and it was still there.
Yeah.
And I even swapped headphones and it was still there. So it's like literally not any of the equipment. It's not the mic. It's not the mixer. It's not the headphones. It's just something else in the air. I can't figure it out.
This is great. I feel like this has been mentioned previously that there's been some sort of noises, and what basically you've now got is a podcast, just basically recording your breakdown.
Yeah.
It's gonna like 10 more episodes, and you're gonna be rocking back and forth in the corner.
Yeah, like speaking into a toilet roll, like
I'm
making a podcast,
writing beep on the wall in your own blood.
But yeah, no, so yeah, if there is any issues, there should, I don't know what it is. It should be fine.
Yeah,
equipment. I
mean, everything feels great so far.
We're up and running.
We're off to a winner.
Well, so what happened since last recorded? It was my birthday.
It was. How was your birthday, Greg? Did you have a good time?
38 years of age now.
And I'll be joining you in a couple of months.
Fine. Yeah, it was all right. Very low key.
Yeah,
like very, very low key.
I'm annoyed that you're not really grey yet, Greg. I feel like some.
Well, I'm bald, Joe. I've lost my.
I know.
Hair.
I feel like
it's the worst.
It's
out of the two.
The unfortunate option of the two. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like, would you rather be deaf or blind, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's exactly
the worst. Same thing. I mean, my dad's not really grey. He was like the last to start going grey, but he lost his hair. Like, yeah. So the annoying thing with the Armstrong baldness is that if I don't keep shaving it, or even before I started losing my hair, just the sides of our heads, just the hair grows so thick. Like, I'd have to get my hair cut when I used to go to barbershops and stuff, because the top was still not grown as much, but the sides were like, I was turning into fucking Professor Bubble from Bubble Boys, like.
Or the Dr. Weetos.
Yeah, Dr. Weetos. So yeah, but I do get grey in my beard.
Is it?
Like, I get really weird. They drive me fucking mental. I'd be like, I'll do like, say like if I'm going somewhere, like, I don't go much. I'm going to Ed's on Wednesday. That means I can shave my head during the day. I'll trim the beard, so that's the only time I leave the house. Not because I'm terrified of COVID, just because I work at home. So
just to reiterate,
I trim it all, and I'm like, you look good. Literally, like 2 days later, I will have like a not even grey, like pure shining white hair that is like triple the length of any of the other ones.
Glorious,
going out and up, and I'm like, how did it grow that quick? Because it definitely wasn't there yesterday. Or the day before when I trimmed.
Well, when you get rid of one, it sort of another one comes back for revenge.
I do pull those ones out because they're like wire. They're like sticking, and I hate. I'm like ah.
I always get like a pain like under my under my like the underjaw area of the beard. I always get like a really horrible stabby pain, and I feel like it's an ingrowing hair, but it's always
bad.
But it's always the same place. There's never a spot or like a horrible like redness or anything. But it's always the same spot, and all I can just think is that for about 3 years, there's just been a hair growing under in my in my neck.
So I get. Sorry, this is really boring for you listeners, but I wanted to raise this actually with another male, and I might as well tell everyone listening as well because I'm curious. I sometimes get a hair.
Women have hair too, Greg.
I know they do, but my moustache area.
Yeah.
Like right under my nostril, under my left nostril, in like the top, the top hairs that start growing there. They're not as long as the ones closer to your lip.
It's not quite a lip hair. It's more of a nose hair sort of thing. Like,
but sometimes in that area, I get this, and it's like Lizzie noticed it a few years ago. I can't remember what she calls it. What the fuck does she call it? I think she calls it my plastic hair. Yeah, she calls it my plastic hair. And it's like insanely thick.
Oh, is it like fiberglass or something?
Like insanely thick. Like just grows there.
Like a paintbrush bristle.
And like you touch it and it's rock hard.
Oh,
like
shit.
Once I pushed it and it like broke, it like snapped into bits, and I was like, holy shit. Like only once that happened.
Are you made of straw? Are you words or gummage?
But Lizzie's always like, let me pull it out. And every time it's so massive and thick and rock hard. She like taps it on the table afterwards. It's like clonk, clonk, like.
What's that about?
And when she pulls it out, always I bleed loads. Like
well,
it's so.
Greg,
it's
maybe you shouldn't be removing that hair.
Well, I think it needs to be done because I know it's there. I mean, to be honest with you, I only get it. This probably happens only like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a continual. It comes back. I haven't had it. I don't think I had it at all last year. No, I had it once last year.
It's seasonal.
I think I had it once last year. It's a seasonal plastic hair. It just likes to keep me on my toes.
I'm not going to lie, but that sounds like a Radiohead song.
Seasonal plastic hair.
Seasonal plastic.
Seasonal plastic hair.
It seems that we
My
both have.
underwear's made of seasonal plastic hair.
We seem to have different impersonations of Thom Yorke.
I know. I hate his. I don't want to go into his.
You went more of like in the verse of Creep than like I think I was going for actually fake plastic trees, which wasn't too far off the song title that we came up with.
Anyway, anyway, it was my birthday.
Yes,
so,
sorry, yeah, it was.
It was my birthday. Didn't really do anything. Didn't really do much at all. It was my nephew's birthday on the Saturday, so that was Saturday, and then Sunday. It was my nephew's birthday Saturday. I didn't actually go because I was really rough that morning, and Lizzie was like, "Look, you're not coming." There's loads of kids there, so she went last minute with her parents.
Yeah,
and I did feel rough, and I slept most of the day.
Oh.
Woke up really sweaty and horrible. Felt all right. Then felt really rough the next day, but I tested negative all the way through it, and I was fine.
I had AIDS. That's what
I was fine, and I bounced back, and I was all right. No, the next day for my birthday, I was all right. I didn't really do anything. Did I do anything on my birthday? I went to Mum and Dad's for lunch.
You did
KFC.
more before your birthday than
yeah, I mean,
I
saw you and Ed like twice in a week, so that was my birthday.
That was, yeah.
But then saying that, the following weekend, so we can just go on at the time of recording this, I did go up to London with like Lizzie and Indiana for the day.
Yeah.
And that was more us doing something for my birthday.
That's cool.
We were going to go, Lizzie wanted to do like a museum, take Indiana, but in this new post-COVID world, it's so hard to be like, let's go to this museum tomorrow.
It's really hard to be spontaneous.
It's all booked. And it's like, we can go. We can go, but at 5:30 in the evening. No. If we want to go in the morning, we can go in 3 weeks' time, 3 Saturdays' time. Like, it's just hard to, like...
Yeah,
like you say, be spontaneous. So we almost called it off, but I was like, Lizzie, come on, I want to go look at toys. I haven't done it for, like, 2 years. I haven't been to London since January 2020.
Yeah.
And plus, taking Indiana to Hamleys in the Disney store is literally... taking her to like a mini theme park anyway.
Yeah,
like
you see every square inch of those fucking buildings.
Yeah, we spent like 2 hours in Hamleys, like fucking just because she was like blown away with all the things she could do, all the things that were there, and going to the Disney store and all the toys and mannequins, and all the models, all this, she loved it.
Yeah, it's like our own museum.
Yeah, I sent you the picture. I did buy the original Kenner re-release of the old Ghostbusters popper gun.
Yeah, man.
So I had that as a kid. And I tried to get one at Christmas, and you couldn't get them anywhere. And we went in the planet, and Lizzie was like, "Oh, look, there's that gun you wanted." And it was literally the last one there. And the woman at the counter said, "Oh, this literally is the last one."
Wow.
I was asked by like 3 people while I was carrying it around where I got it. Like, well, where in the shop is that? I was like, I found it just on the shelf. I was like lying on top of something else. I think someone else had put it down. So, I was very excited to get that.
Coverage.
I mean, I've been playing with it loads. It's so much fun.
I mean, I have very fond memories of the Ghostbusters sort of toy range, but it was all the toys were based on the cartoon characters.
Yeah.
And not like the film version. But I mean, then again, I have very fond memories of the cartoon as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I desperately wanted the headquarters, desperately wanted the proton pack.
I'm sure they'll re-release the headquarters at some point.
I'll get my chance. I'll get my fucking chance. I thought it's going to be weird being 38 years old and asking for that for my birthday. But here we are.
If I ever come into a large sum of money, Joe, I'll make sure that's on your list.
Safe. Sweet. I like you give Ed and Sarah like 1 million.
Yeah.
I get the Ghostbusters HQ.
Yeah. They've got something like something like they need like a new patio furniture set.
Yeah.
And Joe's got the Ghostbusters house.
Just like, oh god, this is fucking awesome.
And then I'm like, and I've also got the slime.
The original slime from 1992.
You open it and it's just as dry as this is dust now.
It's just inhale it.
But yeah, no, but birthday was nice, good day. It was and then trip to London was awesome. I enjoyed being back uptown and just being up there again.
Yeah.
And we went and had lunch at some Italian place and it was really cool. It was just nice being out. Like, it really was nice being, and I wasn't like, Lizzie was like, you're obviously putting masks on going into shops and stuff, but it didn't feel like And people were wearing masks, but it just didn't feel like...
There wasn't the pressures that came
Yeah,
with...
it didn't feel like the pressures. And when I was in the shop, I wasn't really thinking twice about moving past people. And I was convinced we're all going to come back and test positive.
Yeah.
And I was convinced after we talked about that, a couple of episodes ago, we were both like, can't believe you haven't caught COVID yet. I was convinced one of us would have had it by the time that episode aired. But yeah, convinced I was going to get it in London. And who knows, Indiana is actually quite unwell. And she's got a bit of a cold. She's gone to bed early tonight, but we're all still tested negative.
Yeah.
But you never know. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and we'll be testing positive, and I'll be like, I've got to edit the podcast.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I was like,
the COVID.
no, we'll just do it. It's like, no, I don't think we'll ever get it. And then we'll enter the Always Sunny music, and then the bit will come up with just like, Greg gets COVID.
Oh, brilliant. So yeah, that was pretty much my life since the last podcast. A birthday and a trip to London.
Lovely. I've had mine definitely less eventful. I haven't really done a lot. Work. I went back to work. That was it. I had the week off and all that, and then back at work. And
damn,
here we are.
Here we are. I must quickly say, it's ridiculous. I didn't mention this when we were talking about Ghostbusters, but of course Ivan Reitman died, so we have to mention that.
Of course.
Considering wasn't that long ago we did the Ghostbusters artwork for the episode.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, really sad. And it sounds like it was I don't know the details, but reading the statement the family put out, it seems like it was unexpected.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
it was
really
a
sad.
bit of a surprise. There wasn't usually, because usually
it was only 75 as well.
Yeah, man, that's not old. Like,
no, not at all.
Still plenty of time in it. But yeah, it's and
it was sad news to wake up to.
Made so many great films of our
Animal House producer and Ghostbusters director. Yeah. Sad though, and at the same time, there's I don't know, as an outsider, it's nice that there was almost that poetic end that he produced, saw his son make the Ghostbusters sequel to his films. I mean, when you see the making of it, he's on set the entire time anyway. It's
a crazy thing that, because it's like you sort of saying that, and obviously saying like watching his son being able to do that. There's these sort of moments in your life where I think sort of like parents are like, you know what, I've all achievements done.
Yeah.
Because it was the same like. So when I moved out, and then after I sort of moved out, sadly, like my dad was diagnosed with cancer, but like, I remember my mum saying something to me in the sense of like, so I just moved out, and it was just like, it was really weird because it was like that was like his last achievement that he wanted to see sort of done and complete, and like, and
get you out the house.
Yeah, and then it wasn't like he was just like, right, well, done. Everything's done here. I can clock
this
out.
It's becoming my study.
Yeah. But like, they did turn my room into a fucking study.
Even though there was like 2 other rooms.
Mate, I came back. I remember like the first time I came back. Yeah, there was one room, and then just in my room there was like a desk, and there was like my mum's like art stuff, and like, they have like this wallpaper on the wall, which is like bookshelves.
Oh my god!
Which is know nothing use of the listeners here, but you can actually see it on the wall.
Oh wow! Wow, that's cool. Is this your bedroom?
Yeah, I'm in my bedroom.
Wow, I never saw your bedroom.
Sorry, no, I'm in the study. Sorry.
Oh right, sorry. I only ever saw your bedroom once.
Yeah, that was a great night.
Anyway, sorry. Carry on what you're saying. You're building up something quite profound then.
No, it's just that it's a weird sort of thing with it's this. I don't know what real point I'm trying to make here and everything, but it's this sort of thing where it's just like, parents all
nice to see them.
Nice
to see the children
that achievement.
Not necessarily tick the box they want you to tick, but take that step into.
Yeah, it's that, and then it's just like I don't know, but it's such
leave the nest. It's the ultimate parent.
It is, yeah. It's
thing,
the
right?
leaving, the leaving of the nest.
It's the ultimate parent moment, right? You know, like.
And it's just this weird thing, but I think it is like, I'm not saying that like as soon as like they just like I've achieved everything, and then just death is there behind them, just like
no, we're not saying death's like a quantum leap thing in this situation,
but it's like
when the task is complete.
But it is like a bizarre thing that it's like
I get what you're
may
saying.
have been when it happened. It's
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, sad though. That's literally the first thought that ran through my head. Is that literally like this film called Afterlife, Ghostbusters Afterlife, about Egon dying and being in the afterlife. Essentially, is out now. Just literally come out on home release anyway. And then he sadly passes.
He's gone. It's
really sad.
It's so strange.
Glad he got to see the film though.
Yeah, and actually sort of,
Be part of it.
be a part of it, and to see that come out and do so well, and he must have been absolutely dead proud of his son for that.
Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, 100%. Rest in peace, Ivan Reitman. It was very sad news to wake up to the other morning. Moving on, Maren, we asked her to translate something for us, didn't we, last episode?
Yeah.
We asked her to translate. I could. You know what? She sent me the message. It was like a couple of days. It was a couple of days ago, and I was having dinner, and these 2 voice messages popped up. No,
I Google translated something.
Right. Okay.
I Google translated it, and it was like a horrible, shitty playback on my microphone.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And I didn't listen to it until the next day, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I was like, "Oh, of course,
of course."
So, hopefully you'll hear this. I'm going to turn up the phone. And hopefully I'm going to play it. So I actually forgot what she was even translating until I heard her say afterwards. Here we go. She's going to be like, don't play it.
Hello.
Don't play it.
So, fun fact to start with, the German word for nipple is not actually a nipple, even though that was coming up in the translation that Joe posted. The German word for nipple is actually Brustwarze, which literally translates to chest wart. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a great ending. So,
hold on, there's another bit.
Yeah.
So, under sentences I never thought I'd say, the ones from the podcast that you said send in, the first one is, no, I don't have a nipple anymore. Jetzt habe ich keine Brustwarze mehr. And then we've got the second one, which is, help, my nipple has fallen off, I think it was.
Oh, wow, was it turned off? Oh, here we go.
Which translates to Hilfe, meine Brustwarze ist abgefallen.
I like that it's said so
you can
calmly.
Hear that help, sir.
Yeah.
There's nipple.
I like that she says it so calmly, whereas I'd be expected to be screamed because you have no
the
nipples.
first time, my nipples are falling off.
Yeah. Please help me, my nipples are falling off.
Please help me, my nipples. like you're trying not to cause a scene.
Yeah.
And you've got up to like a stranger in the pub, and you've got your coat on, but your chest is pissing with blood.
You're doing the double arm fold
you just
over your nipples.
Really quietly lean over under your hood and just be like, can you help me? My nipple's falling off.
And they're like, excuse me. And then you have to do the hand move where you're just like, my nipple.
And they're like, Jesus Christ.
You have to lift your hands to see these bleeding holes where your nipples once were.
Look at this guy, my God.
I've got to tell everyone.
Shh. Don't shout, don't make a scene. I'm trying to keep it low.
Well, thank you, Maren.
Yeah, thank you as always.
A genuine appreciation for that, because that's fantastic.
And I would say carry on with thanking our listeners as you move on to Geezedropping, where of course we hear snippets over a conversation heard by you or us, and we read them out without context.
That's how it goes.
Geezedropping, whatever your word.
Geezedropping, having a listen.
I tell you what, I heard one.
What have they heard?
I heard this one. I heard this one when I went to London the other day. I was more focused. When you got Indiana with you, you're more focused on that. You can't keep getting your phone out to write down geese drops.
Yeah.
But I did hear one that did stick out, and it was a guy. I didn't even know who said. I just heard it on the street. And just like, I don't understand how I've not been for a piss all day.
Oh, that is a man that is definitely breaking the seal in the next pub. In the next pub.
Because I've thought that. Because I'm especially drinking and smoking, I piss all the fucking time. But when we're like, yeah, flex, man. But when we're at Ed's, there are points where I'm like, well, God, I've been here 4 hours and I haven't pissed yet. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I do think those things sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, I haven't pissed for a few hours. Anyway, sorry, listeners.
It's not really part of the agenda, is it? I mean, it just sort of happens. You're just like, oh.
Somebody goes running off to the toilets holding their crutch. Now, that's a man with an agenda. An agenda in that bathroom.
I've got to go and do an agenda.
So that's one I heard. Reese, my godson Reese, heard this one. He said, a high school boy on a train.
Oh, classic.
Sure, Russia might be a bad place at the moment, but let's be honest, their national anthem bangs.
What?
Just think, High School Musical in Russia. I'm onto something here.
Was that a part of the geese drop?
Yeah, there were 2 geese drops he sent me. But I guess from the same kid. From the same kid.
He has got a point. High School Musical in Russia would be quite interesting. I feel like it'd be a lot grayer.
I don't even remember what the Russian anthem is. I don't even want to YouTube it in case I get stormed by Secret Service at the moment.
That's a good point. Yeah, now
We've got a comment on it.
Now is not the time to be doing it, typing Russia into any search engine.
No, now is people would be, I guess, though, because loads of people are googling the news, aren't they?
Yeah.
I just feel like if I'm like Russian anthem, Echo, Echo, play the national Russian anthem, national Russian anthem.
Here it is.
It is playing it. It's talking a lot.
Hang on, let it bang.
Can you hear it?
I can. Your neighbours must be fucking freaking out right now.
Stop. Right, that was weird. That was because I got the headphones on. I'm thinking that's not very loud, and then I'm looking at my phone on the volume. I'm like, oh, actually, I'm pretty loud.
Actually, this bangs.
Yeah, Indiana's asleep in the next room.
Well, you're gonna wake up a communist.
I can't be.
just those 5 seconds of the Russian national anthem.
God, that's amazing. Okay, look, I only got one more geese drop.
I
only have one more. From Tree. Thank you, Tree.
Has she been to Oxford again?
Let's find out, actually. So I take my daughter to a gig. One of her friends' bands is playing at.
Okay.
I'm taking my daughter to a gig that one of her friends' bands is playing at. In brackets, surrounded by 15 to 18-year-olds. And having a hilarious time listening to some guys chatting about the best way to wank. The best way to wank so your dick won't bend to one side when you're older. and how a woman's G-spot is straight up so you can't hit it if your dick is bent. That was a weird sentence to read, but yeah, I get it. Oh Jesus! Tree, you've killed Joe. He just coughed up his kidneys.
Something definitely came up.
Jesus, Joe just died.
Oh God! You know, it's funny because mine goes to the left.
To the left, to the left.
That's exactly why Beyonce wrote that song.
That's always. I did steal this from the X-Files a little bit. There's an episode of an X-Files. They do like a TV show based on them. And
I
Gary
remember that.
Spaulding's playing Mulder.
Because there's
he's like,
there's the bit where Scully's teaching the woman how to do backflips.
yeah. And he's like, oh, I like to really embody my character. Which way do you dress? And he's like, which way is your dick? Saying, Scully's like, don't answer that, Mulder, blah, 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 blah. And at the end, Mulder leans over and just says, to the left.
To the left, thank you.
I always use that. I used to all the time at Hillfigure as well, in previous jobs. People would never get it. It was an in-joke for myself. But anytime, I've done it in the pub loads. Anytime somebody would say, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'd always simply go to the left.
Yeah. 100%.
Every time.
100%.
I always do it. Can I ask you a question? To the left. Some people get it. Some people think, some people get on making a inappropriate dick joke.
Yeah.
But it's a very subtle dick joke.
No, I like that. That's good.
Now my secret's out.
Nice.
But
mate, it's a great chat-up line. No, that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. Not a chat-up line. It's a good conversation starter.
It's a terrible chat line.
It's awful. You can't just go up to women and just say to the left.
Just say to the left.
Because it just sounds like you're asking them to get out the way.
Sounds like I'm doing fucking
to the left, love.
Captain America, innit?
Yeah.
On your left.
On your left.
Ah, yes. But yeah, there you go. Brilliant. Thanks, Tree. Sending that in.
Mate. And also, fucking hats
glorious.
off for taking your daughter to a gig as well.
Yeah.
Love it. Love that
hats
shit.
off.
Can we come next time?
She hasn't answered yet.
Oh, shit.
I don't think we should be going to a 15-year-old's gig.
Nonsense.
Can we play?
Nonce sense.
Nonsense. It is nonsense. Oh my god.
Thanks, Brasseye, for that one.
Well, what were Greg and Joe doing in an underage concert anyway? Nonsense. Of
Nonsense.
course. They were using their nonsense, weren't
Yes.
they?
That's it. They were trying to sniff out the nonces. I can smell a nonce from 3 miles away.
Like Professor X, I'm just like... got my fingers on my forehead.
I'm going into his brain, and it's a terrible place.
Just going up to some guy in the street in boots. What are you doing? I'm just using my nonsense to make sure you're not a nonce.
Yeah. Could you imagine doing that to people in public? Doing that to people in public. Just
He's
like,
all clear. Keep an eye on this one.
It's like, I'm not too sure about this one.
I can't get a read on this one.
What if you actually caught a nonce? What if you were doing
that?
like? What if you
by
were like?
doing that?
What if you were filming like a YouTube video?
The guy
doing
literally
pranks?
just like, okay, you got me. Don't use
Yeah.
your nonsense on me.
What if you did that though, like, and just like, you know, you were just doing like a YouTube prank video, and you go up to a guy and say, look, I'm just making sure you're not a nonce, and his head explodes because he was a nonce.
If it happens, I feel it has to really lean into it. And I really have to like clean shave my head and be in a wheelchair. Clean shave my
Greg,
head.
in these sensitive times, I don't think you could be in a wheelchair.
Well, Patrick Stewart's not in a real wheelchair, is he? We're really not
Ableist.
really in a wheelchair, but he's in the X-Men film, so he's the boy.
Ableist. That's what you are.
But I'll be like, yeah, clean shaven head in a wheelchair in a suit.
Clean shaven head, but still wearing a cap, like the bald cap.
Yeah, and you can just wheel me around. Like, nonsense.
I'll be painted completely blue, but nothing like Beast.
No, you should literally be like Wolverine on his day off. Like,
In
just
sweats.
just like you're in the yellow spandex, but the hood's down. You've got a cigarette hanging out your
slightly
mouth.
unzipped.
Like it's all a bit unzipped. Yeah, but
And he's wearing trainers.
yeah, exactly. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, that's my day off sorted then.
Jesus, God, man, that was funny.
That was great.
Speaking of actors, I think I put this in the group with Gaz and Sam the other day, but Bruce Willis has been in so many shitty movies last year that the Razzies, who of course are like the opposite of the Oscars, they give awards out for everything that was shit, have given him his own category. Worst performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie, which is fucking amazing.
Didn't they famously give like Catwoman like the
Halle Berry?
Yeah, but she went.
Yeah, she mocked herself at the Oscars when she cried, and she pretended to cry, didn't she?
Yeah,
she got
yeah.
really dressed up for it, which
Hats
is awesome.
off.
And I think that's the way you have to.
Yeah, of course.
I think if you get nominated, I remember there was someone on Big Brother who won some weird sort of a Razzie award, and they tried to give it to her on the street, and she wouldn't touch it, and she got her boyfriend to like take it off the guy and smash it up on the floor, and then be like fuck off, and she was like yeah, and I was like that's not how you do it, man.
Nah, just accept it. Especially
now
like
you
know
look
what?
like a prick.
Especially like, I mean, it's very, very clear that Halle Berry was aware that she was part of a cinematic flop, and like
Yeah, I don't know if she knew at the time, but she definitely knew when it came out.
yeah, she did. Yes, once she saw it all pieced together in order, she was like, oh no, it was better when it was in. I didn't understand what was going on.
Have they happened yet, the Razzies? When do they happen?
I think they happened the same time as the Oscars.
Right, so let me...
no is the answer.
Well, then the Oscars just happened. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, that is not the same.
I didn't really properly look at the nominations, but I'm going to have a quick look at them now, just out of curiosity. Worst Picture... Diana the Musical, the Netflix version. That sounds terrible.
What? I have not seen that on Netflix.
I'm glad to see Space Jam: A New Legacies in there.
Yeah, that's deserved.
Which kind of looks like that. Have you seen that Chippendale trailer?
No,
I saw Rescue Rangers.
I was definitely scrolling through Instagram and caught a glimpse of something like that, but I didn't stop and watch it. But
It's fucking the weirdest thing I've ever seen. My brother sent me the trailer today, and I think I watched the first like 30 seconds and was like, "Oh wow, someone's made this! Like a YouTuber's made this. Like, this isn't real." And then I started seeing more celebrities in it and big names pop up, and I was like, "Oh, this is real."
Oh god!
What? And then I was like, "Oh, it's like." Space, it's like Chippendale doing Space Jam. 2.
Wait, but it's so they're cartoon, right? In that, they're
really hard to explain. One of them's cartoon, one of them's CGI.
that doesn't make sense.
Because the cartoon one decided to get the CGI surgery, and the other one didn't. Is what they say in the trailer.
Right, that just seems like a lot more effort.
But Roger Rabbit's in it, which blew my mind.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not past the two different forms of animation yet.
But there's more than that. There's more than different, and it's basically almost like how Spider-Verse was different animation, but in live action.
Yeah, but
with
that was
loads
good.
of different things. Yeah, but not bad. They're not as good as that. But I just mean as simplifying it, as in different variations of animation.
Right.
It looks fucking insane. It doesn't look good. It looks horrendous. It has a weird Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet, and the movie version of Ready Player One has all that shoved in it. But I guess it is Disney, so at least they have more IP to play with if they're going to do it. But it just looks a mess. It looks fucking insane.
It sounds
Anyway,
messy. It does.
But
it
is a straight to Disney Plus film. It's not having a cinema release.
Yeah.
Worst actor.
Enough said.
Worst actor.
Bruce Willis.
Ro Hartefamp as Prince Charles in Diana the Musical. LeBron James, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Nice. I mean, he's
Mark
not really an
Wahlberg's
actor.
in there. Infinite. I'm only kind of reading the ones I care about. Worst actress: Jenna Dewell, Diana the Musical. I
feel like Diana the Musical is going to do
There's
well.
a film called Karen that I've obviously not seen.
Can we, Greg? Can we potentially locate Diana the Musical and watch it?
It's on Netflix.
Is it on UK Netflix?
Yeah, I think you have to search for it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe not. I have to have a look. Maybe it's not.
Yeah,
I've never seen an advert. I definitely saw a Netflix.
Seeing that advertised.
I definitely saw a Netflix advert for it. Worst supporting actress. Oh, Amy Adams. Diana the Musical. Someone called Erin Davey as Camilla. Jude Kay as both Queen Elizabeth and Barbara Cartland in Diana the Musical. Jesus, worst supporting
How
actor
do you play two different roles?
in a play? Maybe at different times, I guess.
Barbara Cartland and the Queen.
Mel Gibson, Ben Affleck. Worst supporting actor, muscle-bound horse trainer, Diana the Musical. Oh no, sorry, there was a line above that. Gareth Keegan as James Hewitt, the muscle-bound horse trainer.
James Hewitt.
The muscle-bound horse trainer. Is that what he's called?
James Hewitt is
that
not
his full
muscle-bound.
name? James Hewitt, the muscle-bound horse trainer.
No, I believe he's the guy that everyone says is Prince Harry's dad.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, looks like
But
it.
he ain't muscle-bound.
No. By the way, guys, I hope you've. There's no big fans of Diana. We haven't seen Diana the Musical. We didn't make this list. Though.
It could be. We didn't make it. Yeah, no.
Here we are. We're up to worst performance.
You're making
by
it sound
Bruce
like
Willis.
sorry. You're just making it sound like Will and Harry are at home listening to our podcast right now, just with their fists shaking. Just
Yeah.
how dare you?
Worst performance by Bruce Willis in 2021.
Love it.
Bruce Willis does release a lot of shit straight to DVD, straight to the sale bin, straight to streaming films.
Yeah, because he doesn't really act anymore
Loads.
in movies. He doesn't. He doesn't really do anything in the
So
movies
he had
anymore.
in 2021 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh fuck! I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 films,
That's a lot.
and they
That
are
is a lot.
So, worst performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie. Bruce Willis, American Siege. Bruce Willis, Apex. Bruce Willis, Cosmic Sin. Bruce Willis, Deadlock. Bruce Willis, Fortress. Bruce Willis, Midnight in the Switchgrass. Bruce Willis, Out of Death. Bruce Willis, Survive the Game. Out of Death and Cosmic Sin are my favourite,
Mate,
on that list.
Same. That is the two standout ones. I was like, yeah, that's.
I really hope there's a point where
Cosmic
it
Sin.
Yeah, I really hope there's a point where it actually says "out of death" in the film.
Yeah.
I'm fresh out of death.
I'm fresh out of death.
Why won't you die? I'm fresh out of death. Like, me and Lewis always joke, there's, what's his fucking name? The old fucking martial arts guy who's a bit of Steve Seagal.
Yeah.
He was in a film called Half Past Dead.
Yes, he was.
And me and Lewis laugh we always say it all the time. There's literally a line when the guy in the prison says to him, "Rumour has it you are half past dead."
Just like, fuck off. I feel like a rapper was in that film.
Ja Rule.
Of course it was. Of course. Of course,
There's
it's
a,
Ja
there's,
Rule.
there's a really great scene where he does something and a helicopter blows up in the prison, and it just cuts to Steven Seagal really close up, look down, and go bad. Oh my god! I literally watched 45 minutes of that film and it's never left me. It's like glued in my head.
If you can believe it, there is a Half Past Dead 2.
Oh, I can. I know there is. There is.
With Bill Goldberg and Corrupt.
Yeah, because Ja Rule, I believe, spoilers, dies in that film.
Ja Rule, baby.
The Hand of the Musical, no surprise, worst director.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Worst remake, rip-off, or sequel.
Interesting. Okay.
Karen,
what we got?
which is apparently not an official, but a remake of Cruella de Vil. Space Jam, Tom and Jerry movie, Twist, a rap remake of Oliver Twist.
I thought it was going to be a remake of Twister.
And a Woman in the Window rip-off of Rear Window.
Well, I mean, yeah, they all sound shit.
Yeah, that does all sound shit. Man, I'd be interested to see when the Razzies is the Razzie. I'm going to Google quickly. Razzies.
They should just do it like they should just Twitch stream it or something.
I think they.
Surely.
Oh, yeah. So it's 26th of March.
Oh, that's ages away.
26th of March. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who has won the most Razzies?
Who do you? I mean, you.
Well, I
know.
I'm looking at the answer right now. I only asked the question because it popped up. It's actually a bit of a weird one.
How long has the Razzies been going for?
The Razzies is a parody award show honouring the worst of cinematic underachievements. It doesn't say.
It's always been.
I'm trying to say. I'm literally. Oh,
it doesn't
hang on.
feel like a
First award was 1981.
Oh wow! Okay, sweet. All right. I respect that. I respect that.
So I'm going
Who's
to.
won the
I don't
most?
think you're. I don't think there's any way you're going to guess it.
Do you think I know the person's name?
Oh, 100%. But you wouldn't. I wouldn't even think of saying them because I don't really think of them probably as an actress. Actor. Fuck, but they are, I guess.
Kylie Minogue.
I tell you, Oh, hang on a minute. Stallone is the most nominated.
Right.
Stallone's the most nominated, which I can believe.
Yeah.
But no one has won more than, and this person has 5 wins for worst actress and 2 wins for worst supporting actress, making her the strongest performer in Razzie's history. And that was true as of September 2021. And it is...
Drum roll, please.
Faster than a ray of light and fly. It's Madonna.
Of course it is. Of course. I'm actually really happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
That's really good because she is a terrible piece of shit.
I saw some pictures and a pop up of her on Facebook the other day.
She looks like the moon from the Mighty Boosh now.
But there was literally Lizzie was like, "Oh, that's her daughter," and I'm like, "No, that's her." Like just close up to her face.
She had a load of
I
fucking
don't know
surgery.
I don't know what the fuck is going on there.
Do you remember? You ever seen pictures of people who have had like allergic reactions to hair dye?
Oh yeah.
That is what Madonna looks like right now.
Yeah. Well, she looked at that the other month when I saw a picture of her, but I think a lot of the swelling in the recent surgery has settled a bit. Now she just looks bizarre.
I mean, you're probably very much aware. I have a very much a disliking for Madonna.
Oh yeah.
That disliking grew when she was very rude to Ian McKellen on the Graham Norton show.
Yes.
She can go and fucking rot.
Yes, of
and
course.
I think she is, in all honesty. I think
That
she is
is-
alive
she's
and
rotting.
internally from the inside out. You barren old cunt.
Oh, well, hey. Well, I say, Jesus Christ, moving
There we go.
swiftly on.
It's a bitter conversation, that one.
I've got a couple of little articles to run through here to wrap up.
Superb.
That I've been building up to. Some of them, I generally just like. This was like something we might have talked about at some point.
Yeah.
Porn star and OnlyFans model Carly Brooks managed to go 5 years without her family discovering what she does for a living. But she finally decided to come clean after a creepy DM from her uncle came across.
Is that Carly with a C or a K?
K.
Of course it is.
Really not the sort of text you want to be receiving from a family member. Here is the text. Hey kiddo, this is your uncle. Name's blurred out. Hey kiddo, this is your uncle. I think I might have stumbled across a video of you today. ... Monkey covering eyes emoji. Very nice. Do you happen to know Riley Reid? Also, do you have an OnlyFans? My friend wants to know.
Oh, no. No.
Turns out Carly
does.
didn't have much to worry about as far as revealing her profession to her parents. They've thrown their full support behind her. She later shared a text from her mum, a Mormon no less, that said, "We love you and we are proud of you." Her mum also says Carly's father is planning on taking a restraining order out on her uncle. Which is probably a good idea.
Yes, Dad. Yes, Dad. That's
oh my
fucking
God.
great. That's awkward as fuck, but that's fucking great.
Jesus. Yeah, getting those messages from, like, 'cause I always think that, especially with, like, OnlyFans
Yeah,
and
of
stuff.
course.
Like,
It's
family members. Like, the temptation. Like,
the temptation.
well, just, like, imagine if it was, like, your friend's mum or, like,
Oh, 100%.
someone you knew.
100%. I'm
Like-
100%
like-
looking at someone's mum.
Exactly. But, like,
Or like a girlfriend or ex.
like things like that. Like, how does the temptation, or, like, exactly.
Where do you draw the line, Greg?
You know,
Where would
if
you draw
if
the line in
if you were
an
like,
OnlyFans?
Oh, by the way, Greg, Ed, Sarah, this is my new girlfriend. Fucking, let's go.
Apparently, Lizzie's not there.
Well, I pictured we were at Ed's. I pictured we were at Ed's.
Lizzie's not present.
Lizzie can be there. This is my girlfriend, fucking Destiny.
Carly Brooks. This is my girlfriend, Carly Brooks.
This is my Carly. My Carly. This is my Kylie. And and we're like, oh, nice. And we chat to her, and then, you know, after a little while, you're like, look, she actually does OnlyFans and pornography. And we're like, oh, okay. You know, we're going to have to go look at that now.
Yeah, and I fully understand that is what you would do. Yeah,
because you would, even if I wouldn't tell you.
I'd appreciate the honesty, in all honesty.
You know, unless you were a dick and made me, like, promise not to. But I don't think you would. I think if you were going out with someone like that, you'd be like, just get it out the way.
No, I'd make you pay for it.
Yeah, you.
I'm just like, I'm not showing you anything.
Yeah.
You want to go and see it.
I'm not asking you to show me stuff.
Yeah. So what if you got any unreleased content that I could see before I make my decision about purchasing this monthly subscription? Where would
Hey, Destiny, it's Greg, Joe's friend. I stumbled across your video.
Hey, we met for the first time the other night.
Stumbled across your
Great vagina. I bet Joe enjoys that.
Joe's a lucky man.
I bet Joe enjoys that. Where would you draw the line, Greg, in regards to? I think any immediate family, I'm not looking at an OnlyFans.
What? What? Where I draw the line?
No, anyone in the family tree, I'm not interested in their OnlyFans. In all honesty,
Right. Oh, right. You're right. Okay.
not even out of curiosity. I'm not just like.
No, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't. If I found out like me fucking nan was doing it, I'm not going to go looking for it.
I mean, mine. That'd be. I don't.
Yeah, that would be. No, that was just a bad example, but still. You know,
I don't.
If I found out, a cousin of mine, should we say, was doing it, that's probably more realistic.
Yeah.
But then again, never know. Curiosity. I'm joking. It's been a while since it's been an incest joke.
That's funny. Oh, that is funny though. That's really good. I really like that.
Oh god.
So
right,
Reese, if you've started an OnlyFans, let Greg know. He might be interested in taking a look.
OnlyFans reviewer Greg Armstrong. Do you remember we aged years ago, man? We talked about Simon the Big Rabbit.
Yes.
This story isn't about
I do,
him,
only
but...
because I drew artwork for it, and it was us
yeah.
of a giant fucking rabbit, and it was really half-assed.
This story just reminded me of that.
Okay.
Because it's a massive. It's I've written the article down as Big Pussy, but it is. It's a cat.
Not that character from The Sopranos.
This name's Kiefer is a big boy by nature and isn't even fully grown. On track to become the world's biggest cat, the Maine Coon is so massive people think he's a dog, weighing a whoppy 12.5 kilograms. That's 27 pounds. At less than 2 years old, he's already surpassed the average adult weight for his breed, 6.8 kilograms to 11.3 kilograms, and will continue to get bigger until he's roughly 3 or 4.
Jesus.
The oversized puss belongs to Yulia Marina, who lives in the Russian town of Stavry Oski, or Osko. Probably wrong. Sorry, anyone that listening that's Russian that gets upset if I mispronounce your town.
I mean, they've got bigger fish to fry at the moment, mate.
It's going to be on the news tomorrow. Now.
They're about to launch a fucking cat into the Ukraine.
They're going to play the audio clip on the BBC News and just be like, tensions increase with Russia after podcaster says announces town wrong and then apologises.
Podcaster announces name of town and name of person wrong,
and name of oversized pussy wrong.
Russia currently plan to launch cat at England.
They bought Kiefer, named after the milky yogurt drink, as a small kitten from a cattery after falling in love with the snowy white fur. He refused to eat dry food and he's fed on the diet of meat and natural feed. And he's got a huge heart, literally. Something Eula says many people don't realise due to his intimidating size. Despite being mistaken for a dog by both those close to Eula and commenters online, Kiefer is more than happy to prove what a gentle giant he is with cuddles and purrs. Now, you can't see this because at home, I suggest maybe you Google this big Russian beast, Kiefer, the oversized cat.
Yeah, type that into Google.
I'm going to show Joe a picture.
Off. That is not a cat. That is a person in a cat suit. That is a furry. That is a person in a cat suit. You can't tell me that's a real cat. That thing... Nah.
Well,
Can't believe I'm typing big Russian cat into my
She
fucking
was
Google.
massively accused of using Photoshop, but she's like, I don't use Photoshop. And loads of photos of her. People have seen this cat.
Holy shit. Mate, this thing... I'm looking at it now.
Oh, right. Yeah, there you go. Joe found it. Easy to find. Get on there.
Mate, it looks like a person in a cat suit.
Big ass pussy.
Is it big? All right, Cardi B, chill out. Oh God, that's some big ass pussy.
God, I watched. It's a big old cat. It's a huge fucking cat.
It's massive.
That's terrifying. You could literally a kid could ride that thing.
A kid.
Like
I feel like
I
could
let it out. It's not a cat. Surely you couldn't let that cat out.
Mate, I could definitely enter a competition where I try to stay on it the longest.
On it.
That cat is a rodeo cat. That thing is
yeah, man.
It doesn't.
But if it went out on its own, it would get shot or kidnapped, or someone would think it's a monster. Or
you know what it is that's making me feel like it's a person in a cat suit. It's just the arms. The arms on it are like the size of my arms. And also, the ears are really big, so it looks like a fake cat. And it just looks like a person dressed up in a cat suit. That's fucking...
Speaking of sexual genitalia.
Didn't say that at all.
Genitalia.
Did not. No, at no point was that mentioned, but sure, let's go in this direction.
I think it would be a good way to, that's a good topic changer, just by... Oh man, I really want to talk about my new dick piercing. I was bringing up dicks. I know, I'll wait for a minute and then interject with, speaking about big throbbing cocks, we were talking about EastEnders.
Greg, we were talking about the plight of the Ukraine, and
I watched the first 3 episodes of Lizzie the other night of that
big ass cocks.
That Pam and Tommy show.
Oh yeah. What's that
with,
like?
Sebastian Stan in it.
I do like Sebastian Stan.
He's great. He's really good.
He's very good.
She's fantastic as well. As I don't remember what her name is. She's really good as Pamela Anderson. The cast is great. It's really funny. It is really good. It's funny. But it's also quite. It's not. I wouldn't say it's definitely not serious, but yeah, it's like a comedy sort of drama.
Yeah.
Retelling of the infamous.
I mean, it's sex tape. I'm just glad that there's TV shows are starting to come through with the nostalgic '90s moments now.
Oh, there's so much in it.
I'm waiting for an Oklahoma bombing fucking TV series or something.
Yeah, there's so much in it. All the music in it's proper from then.
Oh yeah, because
they'd lend still your sunshine in there. Still my sunshine.
I keep hearing at work they play an advert for it, and it's got "I Would Do Anything for Love" by Meatloaf playing in the background.
Yeah.
Also because when it came out, I was very I really wanted to watch it, but instead I just ended up watching the original.
Of what?
Pam and Tommy.
Oh, right. Brilliant.
Wasn't interested in the remake.
Material.
Wasn't interested in the remake.
So, do you know anything about it?
Mm.
You do?
Yeah, so they go on this. They're on this boat trip after getting married.
Yeah, no, but I mean, do you know it?
They're
do you know
both
any
no
details?
clothes on whatsoever. None of them, both naked. And Tommy uses his penis to beep the horn on the boat. All very early on. The good stuff doesn't start until much later. She's in the hot tub at one point. Is this sorry?
Yeah.
No,
they,
we're going.
They do recreate a lot of that.
I
in
bet
the
they
series.
do. Yeah, see, I know.
There's a lot of nudity in it.
Well, I mean, Tommy Lee had an astonishing penis.
Yeah. No, we meet it. It's literally a character.
Yeah. What? Has it got his own voice?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I'm on board.
So there's a scene where he's talking, and you see the dick loads.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like it's obviously they've put a prosthetic on it, so it just looks longer. It looks massive. It looks
they've Mark Wahlberged him in. They've Boogie him.
But there's also a scene where he has a conversation with his penis. He's like, I think Pam's the one, and the dick's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Don't do this." And I need to see who voices him.
I can almost guarantee you that conversation happened in real life.
Because I thought it would have just been him doing, doing the voice of the dick as well. But I don't think it was him. Voice of Tommy Lee's.
I mean, it's always
dick.
better when like a figment of your imagination has a different voice.
Voice of Tommy Lee's dick. Oh, it's Jason. Oh, it was fucking. I can remember his surname. Jason Mazukas.
Oh,
the guy,
the guy. Randy from the League.
Randy from the League. Yeah, it was him.
Not. I'm sorry, no, not Dirty Randy. It's fucking thingy's brother.
He's in like every show ever.
He's been in everything. He was in Parks and Rec for a while.
Yeah.
And he is like fantastic.
He's very funny. Yeah,
he's so fucking good. Like
he played Randy played a homeless guy in what was it the second or no the third John Wick.
Yeah, he was one of the he did he's like he signals the rest of the gang or whatever.
Anyway,
and he was Jay in Big Mouth.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he is Jay in Big Mouth. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Tommy Lee's talking to his dick, and the dick's like, wasn't ready for it. You hear the voice, and then all of a sudden it pans down, and he's stood there completely naked, and the dick's like moving and like turning its head. It hasn't got eyes. It still looks like a dick, but it's like getting up and turning to talk to him.
Weird.
And he's talking through the pee holes, the mouth, and it's like moving as he talks.
That's great.
It's moving its lips as it talks. It's sharing emotion and expression. It's angry. It's turning around a lot. It was a fucking surreal scene.
Is it?
I just wasn't prepared for.
Is it a Disney?
Awesome.
Is it a Disney one?
It's on Disney Plus.
Bollocks.
Yeah, it's under Star.
Motherfucker.
So I'm sure you can get hold of it somehow or find it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I can't believe I fully expected you to be like, oh no, I've seen all the dick stuff on TikTok.
I haven't. No, they don't show dick stuff on TikTok.
No,
Greg.
I guess not. I guess they can't really, can they?
No, they don't like doing that.
No, I guess they can't, can they?
No dicks. No dicks.
That's how you get away with not getting spoilers of Marvel films. Just put dicks all over it.
Talking dicks,
released.
mate, every single time.
Drop talking dicks over it until the film's released, and you might not get as many leaks.
Just send Tom Holland out in a giant dick costume for every interview, so that he doesn't ruin anything. Him and Mark Ruffalo have to wear penis suits, so that their particular interviews can't be aired.
I've watched the first 3 episodes. I'll probably watch another one when I finish this. It's good. It's pretty funny. I'm enjoying it. He's great in it. The cast is phenomenal. But that dick scene was just... And that was like the second episode. It wasn't even the first episode. It was like the second episode. And I was just I'm like, this show's going to be fucking insane.
I'm just like, as long as it's not Machine Gun Kelly playing Tommy Lee again, I'm fine. No. I'm all right with it. And in fact, like, if he could just permanently not exist, that'd be fucking perfect.
He's especially he looks like him. Acts great. Like, I think he's doing a great job.
Because he looks like such like early '90s Tommy Lee when he had like curtains and like the mayhem fucking tattoo.
The mayhem tattoo. Yeah. Isn't Tommy Lee now married to that younger YouTuber girl?
His wife he met on like Instagram or something.
Yeah, but she's like a comedy sketch YouTuber, isn't she?
She's like young. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I saw her on some channel about, me and Lizzie watched some documentary years ago about like, you popular social media people.
Yeah.
She was on it, and then she's like, oh, that's how I met my husband, Tommy Lee. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So weird. What the fuck?
Wow.
Tommy Lee and his giant cock.
God damn, it's a giant cock. One more story to wrap up with here, which I felt, especially on this podcast, we should mention. Fucking hell, why is it? As soon as you go to read it, all of a sudden you get the thing pop up. You know, do you agree? Cookies.
Fucking every time.
But like, it's literally on my screen.
Why is it every time I'm doing a podcast and I go onto the Independent on Sunday website, which is free to use, and not in any way sponsoring us?
Fuck no.
Imagine being sponsored by the Daily Mail.
Jesus.
I'd rather
I don't think many people listen.
I'd rather sink. They would listen. It just wouldn't be the audience we were hoping for.
Yeah. The oldest pub in Britain is set to close after reported 1,229 years of service.
Yeah.
Which is a very long time.
Oh, I saw this the other day, and the only reason I remember it is because of its name of the fucking pub.
Ye Olde Fighting Cocks.
Yeah.
In St Albans, which isn't only a few hours from here. We've definitely, I think, in one of the very, very early episodes when we did it about pubs, I think we talked about this pub. I think we talked about, was it episode 6, 7? We did the episode about daytime drinking and pubs, didn't we? Episode 3. It might have been episode 3, actually.
Yeah. We very early on.
We actually mentioned this pub then, back in episode 3 of All Seen Guys. So it just felt relevant now just to mention that, you know, it's sadly closing. It dates back to the year 793.
It's fucking nuts, isn't it?
Isn't that insane?
Like, not even like...
It's hard to get your head round.
Not even like 1790. Like,
no, it's 3 digits.
793.
Yeah, it's 3 digits.
That's mad. Could you imagine it being in like the year like 999 and everyone freaking out because the date was going to go to 4 digits?
Yeah, that's it.
And obviously,
because
you then had the 1000 bug, which was obviously going to destroy all of their computers and phones. Pandemonium everywhere.
Yeah.
In the possible brass or bronze age, I'm not entirely sure. It might have been later on.
Come on, continue your history lesson.
Well, I've had enough beers to teach you.
That reminds me, actually, I know we're going to wrap up in a second, but I bought 3 beers up and I'm about to open the third beer now.
When you say wrap up, you make it sound like we're about to put on condoms. For no reason.
I thought you might get dice
for no reason other than to race each other.
So yeah, the pub is closing after 1,229 years of service.
That's insane.
It may have welcomed a Viking or two in its walls. It has survived plagues, civil and world wars, and countless new builds around it. The pub is even thought to have housed Oliver Cromwell for an overnight stay.
Damn.
It looks like a very nice pub.
It's big. It's a big pub as well.
Yeah, it's big. I don't know how big it is, but I remember going to one of the oldest pubs in either the world or England, and it was in Nottingham, and it was called the New Jerusalem, or something like that it was called. I went there with Lizzie. It's so small, you can literally fit like 7 people in there. We managed to sit down and just get a drink each, take a picture, and then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But it was all just to say you'd been there, man. So I would like to have gone, but it closed because of like struggling during COVID.
Yeah, they just couldn't. They couldn't.
It's been a tough couple of years for them, which is so sad, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really sad, especially it's like in the Guinness Book of World Records. There's so much history in it. I mean, it's obviously not gonna. They're not gonna knock it down. So I wonder what it will turn into.
Maybe can't the National Trust just buy it or something? I don't know how the National Trust works. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't keep it as a functioning pub though. It'd be an attraction, wouldn't it? My mum said that to me. She's like, "Oh, if you do go to Battle or Hastings with Ed, Joe, and Sarah and Izzy, then let me know because I've got my heritage cards and that'll get you cheaper into Battle Abbey."
I mean, take her up on the offer.
Oh, of course, yeah. So yeah, really sad, man. Sad that's coming to an end.
Such a shame.
A pub we've never been to, but it felt like we should say farewell to it.
I pour one out for ye old fighting cocks.
Pull one up for the old. What? Pull one up.
I pulled out in the old fighting cocks.
What was I watching the other day?
Cockfighting?
Some girl was going to talk to a guy and he was like, "Don't you tell me you're pregnant because I know you're lying because my pull-out game is strong."
Oh shit! No,
What was that?
What is that?
If you've watched it recently too, so something we both watched recently.
I feel like that's a TikTok or something. Oh no, what the fuck is that?
Or is it an Always Sunny? It's not Always Sunny.
My pull-out
I'm just
game
trying- I'm
strong.
I'm just trying to think of new things. Oh, it was Always Sunny. Yes, it is. It is Always Sunny. It's the Lethal Weapon episode, isn't it?
Yes,
it's, when he's,
it's fucking Pepper Jack.
It's Pepper Jack.
It's
of
fucking
course
Pepper
it's
Jack. The greatest,
Of course, it's
the
Pepper
absolute
Jack.
greatest character that they ever concocted.
Yeah. It
Is
wasn't.
that a Fraggle Rock lunchbox? Man,
Yeah.
Pepper Jack loves Fraggle Rock. Oh, Pepper Jack, are you serious?
It was really good. That episode was weird. It was weird. It just took the piss out of themselves because obviously they had those episodes taking off streaming, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know. For those listening, don't know what we're talking about. The show Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which, you know, like 8 years ago, no one knew what it was. But now it's insane now. I mean, it's just a huge show. It's like one of the longest running shows. What
it
series
started
is
in
it?
2009. 2009 is when it started in America.
Yeah.
I tried to think about when I started watching it and I couldn't figure it out.
When I
got Netflix, I think it was one of the first things that I was just like, oh, what's this? Blah, blah, blah. Hit that first episode and I was just like, this is great. Like, this is like...
When I first got Netflix, I was still in the old flat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been going for ages. Anyway, they did a series of episodes where they make sequels to Lethal Weapon.
It's so good.
But there's a lot of white actors blacking up to play Murtaugh.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, it's fucking hilarious. But since then, obviously, it's been those episodes have been taken off.
But here's the thing, right? So I mean, obviously, blacking up, not a good thing. Like, don't like if you ever in your life think, oh, you know what will improve this? Blacking up. You're wrong. It won't improve anything. It will dampen the spirits of whatever event you're going to. But like they just managed to do it to me. I mean, and you know what? Maybe I can't say this, but maybe like. It like they did it in a way that just didn't seem even offensive. But then, but like,
the whole thing,
it's not supposed to be offensive. But obviously, it's such a risky area that most people would just be like, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do it.
But as I said, you know, they've been going so long that they have an opportunity to like address these things and like. There's that whole bit in the episode where Max says, like, I will be stepping down from my role as Murtaugh. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, okay, great. And he's just like, well, no, I think you should be praising me.
Praising me for not being racist.
Yeah, and it's just like, why would you think that? Why would you? And it's just like, why do you think we should praise you? And he's just like, then why am I doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, it's very smart. And you know what? The first time I watched the episode, it was quite late. And I was awake, and I was doing stuff on my phone, and all that kind of went past me.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I was like, oh, that wasn't as funny as the other ones, and just kind of carried on watching the series. Mm-hmm. Then I rewatched it with Lizzie a few days later, and was like, this is fucking genius. Like, all that clever, like, social commentary on their own show, though, was like there to see it. It was really clever.
It was fucking great. It was really good.
It was not an amazing. It wasn't like the best series. The thing is, their series are never as good as they were. I think, back then, but there are good episodes.
There's always like I would say that I would watch a season of Always Sunny, and I would say 70% of it I fucking laugh at.
Exactly.
And there's maybe like 3 episodes that I may not care about as much, or I'll go back to not as much as.
Have you watched? Have you finished the series?
Haven't finished it. I'm about. They're not even in Ireland yet, so there's a lot of this season is them in Ireland.
Yeah, it's fun.
But I've heard, obviously, from listening to the Always Sunny podcast, which I've been very much enjoying because they do like their analytical of their every really episode good. Is about really an episode funny. Of Always Sunny, which is great.
It's really funny.
Really, really great. Really,
they're basically doing the podcast, that fan podcast that got really popular recently.
Yeah,
they were like, oh, that podcast where fans watch our shows really popular. Why don't we just do that?
Yeah, pretty much is how it's gone.
Yeah.
But from that, it has unfortunately slightly ruined the end of the season for me.
Yes, of course.
Because they were talking about Charlie having a very profound.
Oh no, that was the episode I told you to listen to as well. Sorry, man.
No, that's all right. It's not your fault. It's fine. But yeah, no, there's a very profound moment with Charlie doing some very good acting, which is
there is
something to look forward to. I mean, they've all. I wanted to call up. I listened to their episode because
man.
in the most recent episode of the Always Sunny podcast, they did a call in. They set up a number and they let people call in, and it's fucking genius. It was great. It was so good.
I tried watching it with Lizzie. She literally made me turn it off 15 minutes before the end because she was like, "It's making me feel so on edge, like so anxious." And I get that because I thought that's how I would have felt the whole time, and there were moments where I was like that.
They're just like, "Oh, where's this going?"
Overall, it was very funny.
No, it was. It was really, really good. And yeah, it really made me want to call up because I think the question I would have for them is, which is your favourite Dennis freak out or like Dennis rage moment? Because when he does a rage, it's like
brilliant.
His face changes and his voice changes, and he's just a complete maniac. And he's definitely one of my favourite.
Have you seen? I think episode 3 when they were 3 or 4 when they replaced D.
No, I haven't seen. I don't think I have
seen the monkey one. Okay.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think I've only seen the first 2.
2.
Yeah,
because that's like the third one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so probably not. But yeah,
I'm expecting too much of Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah. Quickly, while we're discussing things we're watching, I haven't got any of my YouTube recommendations this week, but I will say. I've been watching, I think this week, a couple of days at time of recording, is the finale of the Peacemaker show, and generally has been the best show I've seen in so long. Yeah. And it's so funny, and it's so violent, and it's so just, John Cena's so good in it. He's so fucking, I think I said this to you before, and I'll go on about it, but he's so good in it. And like even characters in the first episode, I was like, oh, I don't like him. I'm now like, oh, these are fucking such good characters.
Yeah.
And it's such a ridiculous. The fact that you got Robert Patrick, aka T-1000, playing like a former racist superhero called the White Dragon, and his henchman or the KKK. It's just insane. Like it's just insane. And he literally like fucking Peacemaker's his son. He literally like screams and calls him a faggot and stuff, like trying to like goad him. It's fucked up, man. Even though you think it's like a really silly, dumb comedy, but it's so fucking deep at points.
Yeah, of course. Everything's got that, isn't it? Everything.
I don't know. And if you haven't seen it, I do suggest you watch on YouTube, listeners. Even if you don't want to watch the show, watch the opening sequence to the show. When it's done to like an old hair metal track called "Do You Really Want to Taste It," and they've done like an entire dance routine. And watching John Cena do these weird dance routine is so funny, man.
Oh, he's up for it.
It sums up the show. Taking themselves seriously while being ridiculous. It literally sums up the entire show. It's so funny. Do check out I saw a TikTok when someone's like, first time you watch Peacemaker and it's the opening sequence and they're like, oh, the fuck's this? And it's like second day you watch it and he's like, oh yeah, nodding his head. And by the third episode, and the guy's doing the full dance routine like in his fucking bedroom, like in time with the fucking sequence. It's so good.
I saw on the topic of TikToks, my favorite. Not that I'm going to try and make this some sort of segment, but my favorite. On
the topic of TikTok,
my favorite
TikTok.
My favorite
TikTok.
My favorite. Any more before I carry on, or are you done?
TikTok. No, TikTok topic.
My favourite TikTok of the week has been a man.
Favourite TikTok of the week.
It was really good, really simple but really funny. It was a man and like he's got a green screen background of like a theatre, and he stands up and starts clapping, and the caption comes up and says, "Me after I've just watched 4 Mambos," and he stands up and then just goes, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mambo number 5, bang, bang, bang," and he just goes, "What the fuck is this?"
Very good.
It was good.
I say it brings us to the end of the episode.
There you go.
I feel like we discussed things and there was a podcast in there.
There's some material in there somewhere.
I was a bit more buzzed than I first thought, and I did sink a few beers.
I'm on a high. I ain't working tomorrow.
I did bring. I had a beer with dinner just before we started podcasting. I brought 3 cans up with me. Now I'm like, I usually only drink 1.5.
Yeah.
And even though I only opened this one like 8 minutes ago, I'm almost done with it. I'm like, at least.
I think we found the correct chemistry.
Means I'll probably be whiting in the
Sick.
Yes.
Love it. Oh.
Everyone, thanks for listening. As always, it's awesome.
And thank you for writing in and sending us voice notes.
Writing in. Thanks for the postcodes.
I mean, like sending us messages.
Postcards.
Thanks, just in general. Thanks for your cooperation. I guess is not cooperation. Thanks for your input. Thank you for your input. That makes our show what it is.
Thanks for your cooperation.
Thank you.
The
Yeah.
All Seeing Guys podcast. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you for your cooperation. I have
The All
been.
Seeing Guys podcast will be back in a monologue.
The All Seeing Guys cooperate.
I feel like we stumbled across so many different potential artwork and episode
There's some
titles.
bits in there. A part of me wants to draw us Russian kicking a giant cat.
I don't think you should draw us Russian.
Part of me just no, yeah, maybe not. It's annoyingly as well. Our logo is the colour of the Ukraine flag as well.
That's good though. That's not annoying. That's
Yeah,
good.
no,
I
it's
support that.
but it's like I'm all for the Ukraine. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love an underdog. But as you know, you don't want to be associated with a possible potential world war, do you?
Associated. You sounded really posh then.
well,
Associated.
Greg, I'm in the no, I don't matter. I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm in Surrey. Holla.
I'm in Surrey.
And what?
And what? I'm in Surrey. Sorry. Everyone, thanks for listening. Any more geese shots, please send them our way. Appreciate the ones you do send. I have been Greg back in the monologue Armstrong.
I've been Joe to the left Jackson.
Joe to the left. Oh, of course.
I've had that saved.
Well, when I told that story earlier, I did make a mental note to be like, make sure you say Greg to the left Armstrong at the end.
I would have been furious.
And just because I just mentioned monologue, I actually went. So yeah, we could be
fucking
going
angry.
To the left could be the episode, or fucking
To
as
the
well.
left.
Like this.
Mate, when I tell you it goes to the left, it fucking goes to the left. It's ridiculous. Good night.
I was checking mine.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of The All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.